Is it going? There it goes.
Happy March 1st, everybody. Hi, Jeanette.
Hey, I have the phone, on my Facebook, and I'm like, oh, you can hear it.
I can. And you know what? We were flawless this morning. It must be because Princess Vines Harris is with us, because it went off without a hitch. So
we are good
welcome,
today.
Everybody. This is our 5th episode. Hello, Big Five. Of Having Fun with J and J. We're the ladies that talk crafts and fun and life and women's stuff, and we'll talk about men occasionally because they're fun. We like men. We just want them at work. Love is our space. But we're here again. We're going to be talking about a few things with Princess. She's an entrepreneur. She's a lovely young woman, and she's got so much talent and skill, and she's going to tell us all about herself. And hey. Jeanette, I'm Jenny.
How you doing?
That's Jeanette. Where are you? Say hello.
Hi, people. Welcome to Having Fun with J and J. Nothing's falling on my head yet, and things are not flying, so we're good to go today. So we have, like you said, we have Princess. She's a crafter, and I'm gonna let her take it from here. Hi, Princess. How are you?
Hey, good.
So, is that your real name? Tell the people, because right now they probably think that, we have royalty of the Lord, and we do have royalty. So, hey, how you doing?
Yes, it is my real name. Yes.
Princess, where are you from? What part of the country are you in?
I'm originally from North Carolina, from the eastern part of North Carolina, but now I live in the Raleigh area of North Carolina.
Very cool. That's one place I haven't been yet. I want to go. And what do you do when you're not crafting?
Chasing my 2-year-old and trying to raise my other 4 kids. I have 5 in all.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. 5 kids and a husband. And
that means you got
and you work.
Yes, and I work and teach special needs students. So
you got kids there. So how many kids you got in the class?
I have 10 students, 2 have developmental delays, and the rest are all autistic.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so altogether you have 15 children that you take care of?
Yes.
And you still do have time. So tell us about more what you do. What's your company's name?
Dolphin Princess Creations, LLC. And I do everything. I do wedding planning, wedding decor, party planning and decor, party favors, t-shirts, tumbler cups, all kinds of cups, really. Mugs. I do sublimation, DTG work, transfer work, all kinds of special made gifts, custom made gifts, jewelry, everything.
So do you find yourself?
All of that.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I have all these questions for her. Go ahead.
Okay, let's do this. You get 5, I get 5. Go ahead, go.
No. let's tag team her, because she's really got so much to cover here. I just can't get over the kids herself, and she's got time to craft. So are you looking to be a crafter full time? You're progressing, or are you kind of keeping it as a side gig for a while? Where do you see this going for you?
I mean, eventually I would like to just do crafts because I love doing it. It kind of settles me, I think, because if I didn't have crafts, it's kind of like I have nothing to calm me down. Because by the time I finish work and then my kids and my husband, I'm like, if I can do at least one craft before I go to bed at night, I'm chill. So if I can do that full time, I would love to do that full time, like just planning events and making stuff. Yeah.
Wow. And when do you have time? Like you have the work in the day. So this is what I'm saying. Well, as crafters, we gotta find the time because you work full time. Okay, so I imagine that you go home exhausted because I was a teacher too. So like you go home exhausted, and then when do you find time to do your crafts? Like when do you do your crafts, and how often do you get orders, and what's that like when you get orders?
I do a lot of stuff. If I have something to do, like during the week, I do work on stuff like after my kids and my husband go to bed, so I'm up late. And I try to do a lot of stuff on the weekends, while I'm off on Saturdays and Sundays. And I mean, I get a lot of orders in, depends on the time of year it is. It was like major holidays and stuff. I get a lot of orders. Um, and I try to pace myself depending on what orders I have. I try to pace myself depending on when they want certain things because some people want stuff like right then, immediate, and some people want it like a month or two later. So I try to pace myself and work on it or whatever a little bit at a time. Um, but I try to organize it because I'm all about organization. Because if I don't have organization, it's kind of like I'm all over the place. So I have to write everything down, my orders. I have all my stuff set up with my payment system, so I don't have to worry about taking cash and all that because that gets to be a little messy when it's time to file taxes. So yeah.
Oh, okay. And let me ask you this: when you get Jenny, it's your turn. Never mind.
No, I'm listening to you, and I'm listening to you, and Princess, go ahead.
Okay, so so what keeps you going? Like, how did you come up with this idea? What made you think of this career craft?
Well, me and my sister always did crafts. We kind of come from an artistic background. My father was an art teacher, so we've always done like drawing and painting and stuff. And then we were into jewelry, and me and my sister had a business, Sister Creations, a long time ago. And then we kind of branched off because she had her career, and then I started my career, so we kind of branched off from each other, and then we started doing crafts again. So now is like, I'm sorry, what was the other part of the question?
The question: what keeps you going? Like, what keeps you going to do this?
Uh, really, it's something I mean, it's a passion. Like I really love all kinds of arts and crafts. Like I love going to art museums and going to like vendor shows and like getting new ideas and seeing what other people are making with stuff and how people are creating things, and even just going to like little groups and stuff where you actually just sit there and paint the whole time, or you sit there and because I used to do scrapbooking too, and do scrapbooking and stuff the whole time. Like that's really like a fun thing for me to do. Like if I can just sit there and do that and drink a glass of wine, I'm good. Yeah, and it calms me down. Like if I'm stressed and I can go home and do a craft, I'm like, okay, now I'm back. I'm fine. Yeah.
She's an entrepreneur crafter. I'm telling you,
That's
that's
for real.
so. What are you doing pop-ups? Are you doing community stuff where you're out there showing your stuff off to the community? Have you had a chance to do any of that kind of thing?
Yes, I just started doing some community events. I do some stuff with the shoppers market here. That's a local thing that we have. They have it in other states too, but here in North Carolina, we do shop. It's called the shoppers market, where you can sign up to be a vendor and stuff for the show that they're doing. Like we have one coming up in March. Me and my sister are doing it together, sharing the tables and doing our stuff together, where you can kind of sell your items, you can advertise your business and stuff like that. I've also done some vendor events for like the city of Raleigh and city of Durham, because you get on their vendor list and you kind of get business and stuff that way, and you like comp some of your stuff for the event, and then they'll let you sell some of your stuff at their event as well. So that kind of helps a lot with advertisement.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
If you
You
had,
and your
if
sister.
you,
So me and my sister started off together at a very early age. Um, we made bikinis. I used to crochet the
Ah,
tops, and she sewed the bottoms, which worked out fine, except if you were busty, and then I had to do a very large top. It took me longer. Jeanette, she can sew the bottoms really quick. I think I was 13. It was that crocheting the top took forever.
oh
Um,
my gosh.
I was like 13, and we still we have done things together in the past, and it's always fun to have someone. So does she work with you, or does she kind of work like she does her gig and you do yours, and but you kind of team up when you can? Is that how it
yeah, we
works?
kind of team up when we can because my sister, she's a professor and she's an attorney. Um, so she
Wow.
does her own thing. Yeah, so she does her own thing. Um, and then I kind of got her. I try to talk to her. I'm like, look, you need to try to sell this stuff. You need to make this stuff. Try to keep her going because she gets so stressed out and she gets anxiety. So now she's starting back doing her stuff because she just finished her a book and she's on her second novel. So I'm
Wow.
like, well, you can kind,
Hey, I
yeah,
got a place. I got a place for her. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
email you later. I got a bookshop,
Yeah.
okay,
online
Yeah.
bookstore
She's
for
an
her.
okay.
author too. Yeah.
Yeah, so now she does she turned it into, I was like, why don't you have a spinoff of your website? You have your book and stuff up there. She has her motivational stuff that she makes. But I'm like, well, you can have like a boutique. So she has a boutique spinoff from her regular website where she sells her motivational type gifts and stuff, custom gifts and all that stuff too. Yeah.
You guys had it
Wow.
going on, right, Jeanette?
That is like I thought I had a lot going on. Never mind. Jeez. I mean, good gosh almighty. And you hit on a topic that we're gonna read the word of the day that it at the end. And you're doing exactly what you need to do because everybody's different. And here's another question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Mm. In 5 years. Mm, I might still be teaching. I don't know. My
Hey.
goal is to come out of the classroom and to have a leadership type position where I'm like more of a resource for parents and caregivers of kids with special needs. So I can do more of the hands-on stuff with them, and also hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years, opening my own store where I can actually like
Mm.
sell stuff out of my store and maybe hire a teenager, which I like my kids, and they can run the store, kind of thing. Make a
That's
little
the best
money.
thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, because we have so many spaces and rental areas where you can just rent just a space and put your stuff in.
Maybe I need to go back to
Also,
North Carolina.
um,
I did my whole military career in North Carolina in Raleigh headquarters. So
okay.
yeah, so I know about Raleigh, North Carolina. I lived in High Point, Greensboro. I lived in all those
Okay.
places. So I know North Carolina. So when you say Raleigh, I say, oh, that's my hometown right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I love Raleigh.
Do you see yourself? I was just thinking with your children, the kids in the classroom. Do you do arts and crafts with them? Because autistic
Yeah.
kids are really able to express themselves with art as opposed to words.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's very helpful, and um, I've seen so many just really do really well with that. Are you
Yeah,
able to?
yeah, we do a lot of art projects. I know my IAs are probably they get tired of me, but we have to do art like whatever is coming up. Like we just had engineering week this week, so we finished up. We made rockets today. So I said on
Oh,
Monday we're gonna get to shoot our rockets off. So they did that today,
Ooh,
and then we have Dr. Seuss week next week. So we have theme days. We got to decorate our door with a storybook theme. Then we have
wow.
mystery readers coming in and all that stuff. So we get to dress up in costumes and stuff. So
aw, I
yes, I
miss
try to
those
have
days.
fun with them, even though they are very busy and loud, and try to make it fun.
But kids are need to be loud. They need to have time to express and yell
Yes,
themselves.
they
But yeah,
do. They
this is
do.
pretty cool. And in your business, when you open up your store, I'm so happy for that. What advice would you give a person in your position that they have a full-time job plus they have to do the crafters. What advice can you give them? As an example, you do all this stuff, but you also have a full-time job, you have your own kids to take care of, and then you go ahead and you have to do your crafting and your business and you're growing it. So what advice can you give them that would help them in the situation? Because you have a lot of crafters that say, I can't breathe. I don't know what to do. So what would you say to them?
Really organize your life and take time for yourself. Put certain things in priority. Like I have to prioritize whatever it is I have to do for that day, for that week. Like literally, I live off a calendar on my phone, because if I don't have that, I don't know what I'm doing. Like my kids have appointments, I have meetings, I have paperwork I have to do. I have, it's so many like deadlines and all that stuff, but you have to kind of like take a step back, deep breath, have everything written out, organized. Okay, what do I need to do today? Like, what does I have to? What is I can wait a little bit later kind of thing, and prioritize everything and put in order of what you need to do, and realize that you cannot be that person for everybody, and you can't do everything for everybody. It took me a while to get there. My mom always told me, Francis,
yes, we all know.
Yeah, you can't do everything for them. You can't make them do it. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, but it's kind of hard being in the classroom with the students and knowing their needs. And then the parents aren't doing certain things. And I'm like, well, they need to do it. And then I come home and my husband don't do certain things. And I'm like, I asked you to do this 2 weeks ago. It's still not done. So I got to kind of calm down, and everybody does stuff in their own time. So, and eventually it will get done.
Oh my gosh.
And pray and read my women's journal, so I don't go crazy and run over somebody or something. And if you know Raleigh, road rage is real here. Like I'm driving to work, dropping off kids at school, and I'm like, move. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I gotta pray and read. Yeah.
I have to say that I talk to a lot of women that aren't entrepreneurs, women that work at jobs or whatever. Women entrepreneurs are actually have the best. They just love to laugh. They have this sense of humor, because honestly, there are days that you just if you don't laugh, you literally will crawl into a ball and go away.
Yep.
And honestly, nothing ever gets accomplished by that. For me, if I get Jeanette and I have the word for the bad voice in our head. What is it, Jeanette?
The bitch in our head, the big voice in our
head that says,
I wish I could take credit, but I did not. I got it from this book. I don't advertise, but Sabri Subi says the bitch in our head, because of the fact that that's the one that keeps us down, depressed. You can't do this. All the negativity is the bitch inside your head. And that's what he said. This is, I didn't make it up. It comes from here.
and it always happens when things are piling up. You got a sick kid, your husband came home early, mom's calling, the kids at school are kind of unruly, you got a parent that's not participating, and then you're thinking, all I want to do is go home and make a tumbler. That's what I want to do.
Yes, that's it. I think about that all day. Yeah, like, what I'm gonna do with it.
And if you go and you indulge that voice in your head, then you just get behind. It's like someone says, my husband will say, well, just leave those dishes for tomorrow. I said, they're gonna be there tomorrow. Right? Right? Like there's no dish fairy that's gonna come in overnight. Make it happen.
Shazam, right? Or I dream of Genie.
I wish.
No, that don't work.
So, and what your attitude is just, it seems like it's a lot now. And Jeanette and I were also just talking about this, the involvement of, that's why I asked you the question in the beginning is, what do you like to do? Because in our heads, we're always thinking of new things, right? New products, new way to do it. If I could turn my brain off, I'd be the happiest camper just for like 5 seconds. So sometimes you have to kind of regroup and look at what your main focus is, and then some of that stuff will drop off because you're like, well, I like doing that, but I'd rather do this. I'd rather go to quinceañera shops and bridal shops, and I like, if you like to work with brides, you're an awesome person, because I couldn't do it. I'd be like, no. I watched the Can't Say Yes to the Dress too much. Like, I'm taking that girl out.
Or better yet, Bridezilla. The Bridezilla show.
It's real.
My gosh. That is real. Yeah, it's real. Unless you have a simple, and then,
Yeah.
My wedding was,
Yeah, because I did my own. I made all my stuff for my own wedding.
Yeah, good girl.
Because I knew how I wanted it done. So
yep, good girl. I think that's, I think that is the best way to do your wedding, because it is your wedding. And I think that it's just such a really intimate thing. I didn't really like other people telling me what to, I did it myself. We always do it ourselves, don't we?
Because you have the vision. See, as a crafter, you have the vision of, I want that cake to look this way. They can't see inside your head. So what do? Forget, I'll do it myself. And it comes out gorgeous because I did it myself. Know, or you want the flowers a certain way. No, man, I'll do it myself, and you do it yourself. It's like, absolutely, that's the good thing about being a crafter. You could do your own wedding. I mean, for real. Now, as long as you're done before you have to walk down the aisle, I'm good. You're crafting.
She's gonna be putting rhinestones on that bride and groom cup right there. She's gonna be finishing it.
You always want that little extra. You want that little extra. Oh, look at me, little extra. And finally, you got this blingy cup. You be like, oh, that really came out really blingy.
Are any of your children following you in footsteps? How old are they? So you got a 2-year-old.
2, 8, 12, 14, and 16.
Oh, you got 3 that can work in the store for you, right there.
Yeah.
Yep. They can work.
And they all like art. They all do. Mostly my boys, they like to draw. Like they do that anime stuff, characters and stuff. They draw really, really well.
Oh wow.
But they like to make stuff from anything, because they all went to like magnet schools, so they know like STEM and engineering. So they'll take a cardboard box and turn it into like a car or anything. Yeah. They love to do stuff like that.
They're so smart.
Well, that's the thing. You're leaving a legacy behind, because when you open up that store, you're leaving it to them, and then they should carry on. And Lord knows, those little mom and pop shops, they've been around 30, 40 years because they left them generations to generations. And that's what I want to do too. I would love to open up my own store where I can leave it to my grandchildren, and stuff like that. On that note, because
let me just say one more thing. Yeah, you got to get your sister Princess to negotiate a really, really good lease for you for a little place. Tell her to start working on that. See if you can get someone to get you a spot that maybe will work. Half price on that lease or square footage. Just to keep it up in that area, because that's a great idea. I'd like to see you do that. That's awesome.
Yes. And hopefully we'll get someone on here that can actually help us through those steps, like bring a guest that both financial, how to do that. And that's something that we'll do in the future, because this show, Lord, is moving it really fast. And like I said, it's something that we started, and we see already the positive response. We're giving a voice to the women crafters, and now the how-tos, for free, because there's just too many people out there that want to help, but hey, hey, ching ching. And I'm like, well, small business, we don't have the ching ching, So
No.
we have to do and help each other because, we're all one community. We're all doing the same. So we got to help each other. But it comes now to this, which is the word of the day. Today is very special. The word is called you are one of a kind. Okay. The sun is glorious in one way, the moon is glorious in another way, and the stars are glorious in their own way. For one star differs from and surpasses another in its beauty and brilliance. This comes from 1 Corinthians 15:41. Now, I usually only read the verse, but because of what she wrote, I had to say it because it's really important. Um, we're all different, like the sun, the moon, and the stars. God created us to be different from one another, and He has done it on purpose. Each of us meets a need, and we are all part of God's overall plan. When we struggle to be like others, not only do we lose ourselves, but we also grieve the Holy Spirit. God wants us to fit into His plan, not to feel pressure trying to fit into someone else's plan. Different is okay. It is all right to be different. We are all born with different temperaments, beyond different physical features, different fingerprints, different gifts and abilities, etc. Our goal should be to find out what we individually are supposed to be, then succeed at being that. Romans 12 teaches us that we are to give ourselves to our gift. In other words, we are to find out what we are good at and then throw ourselves wholeheartedly into it. I have discovered that I enjoy doing what I'm good at doing. Some people feel they're not good at anything, but that is not true. When we make an effort to do what others are good at doing, we often fail because we are not gifted with those things. But that does not mean we are not good at nothing. We all have limitations. We must accept them. That is not bad. It is just a fact. It is wonderful to be free and to be different, not to feel that something is wrong with us because we are different. That is amazing. And the fact that you're different from me and I'm different for you, that's why in a platform that me and Jen met, we have 46,000 arts and crafts. They're all different. We each have an eye for our creativity, our gift within ourselves, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about that, Jen?
I think it's absolutely the truth, and I think a lot of the crafters, we've talked about this before. I don't think Princess is one of them. You seem like you're very grounded, and you're working hard with what you love to do. But sometimes you see other people do other things, and you want to be that person. I don't want to be that person. I'd like to say, oh, I like that. I like that. I want to see what I could do with that. So if you do a tumbler, there's going to be a ton of tumblers around, but you're going to make that tumbler your own, and
Yeah.
someone's going to appreciate that for that gift.
Mm-hmm.
And crafters are we're independent kind of sorts, but we I think we're generous and we're kind, and you're working with children just shows the fact that
Yes.
you're a giving heart, and crafters have a giving heart, and that's a very, very important thing as well. So
Who
right
knows
on
that
as
by your
usual.
influence, yeah, by your influence, you can probably also influence one of your kids to be artists themselves. So, do you have anybody in your class that you think, you don't have to say the name because I know that's private?
Yeah.
Do you have any one of those kids that show that talent already?
I have one little boy in my class. He goes to kindergarten in August, but he can draw like anything. We went to art. We go to art on Mondays. He drew. We were supposed to be drawing. They were doing handprints or something, and he was supposed to be. He had finished his, and he drew the troll. You know, like the movie Trolls. He
Uh-huh.
actually
Oh,
drew a troll on his paper. They're supposed to be doing free art. He drew a troll
Wow.
on his paper, and then he was trying to make me draw the Grinch on the paper. He can
Oh
draw
my God.
sharks, dolphins, like he's into animals. Because all kids with autism have like something they really just into that one thing. His thing is animals. He can draw all kinds of animals at 4 years old. It is.
Oh my goodness.
Wow,
Crazy.
that's talent. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I always let my children do when I was a teaching is I let them show their talent. I had a kid who's autistic that could not speak, but he grew excellent. And what I taught, I knew that he was listening to me because he did a storyboard of my lesson. That's 100 right there. I gave him a passing grade because he couldn't understand, he couldn't speak, but he expressed that on a whole storyboard like a comic book. I said, that boy got talent. He could do comic book. So you feed that into them because, you know, you got some teachers out there that'll put that away. You're not supposed to be drawing in a class.
Yes, yeah.
No, you know, I used to go for it. I don't care how you tell me, upside down, inside out, share chandeliers upside down. Do your thing with my class. As long as you're doing work, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Well, Princess, it has been such a pleasure. We're going to stay in touch with you, please. I think I've already liked you on your page. We have some things that you might find helpful, and I think you're going to help a bunch of other crafters by your gifts and your kind spirit and your beautiful heart. And we're so thankful that you signed up and took a chance to spend an afternoon with us. We
appreciate you and love you for taking your time in the day in the middle of class, just, you know, giving us that chance to be with you. All right. So we always, you know, have the ends up, and we just want to welcome you and thank you so much. Anybody else, thank you for just, you know, watching the show with us and having fun. And Jen, say the closing and then we're out.
Okay, guys. Thank y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Sounds right.
There we go.